Well, a very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Flight Deck Sim live stream. Today it's the 20th of July 2025. It's 3 minutes past 6 here in the United Kingdom. We're back in Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 for something a little bit different on this channel. Today we're flying one of the most iconic World War II bombers of all time, the Avro Lancaster, which was released last week by Aeroplane Heaven. Now, I actually purchased this aircraft this morning. A little bit about the add-on. It's not a super high detailed add-on, you know, the systems modelling is quite basic, but it's an Avro Lancaster with 4 million engines on, and you can't get any cooler than that. So I thought we'd just have a little bit of fun this evening, as I was on standby. I was going to do this yesterday, but tomorrow I have a very early start and very early morning departure, and I didn't fancy streaming that tomorrow. So we're in RAF Coningsby, the home of the Lancaster and the Battle of Britain Memorial flight. We're going to be flying to Duxford. Should take us about 45 minutes or so. Get the aircraft set up. We're live time, live weather. The aircraft, the Avro Lancaster, is in flight right now because this weekend was the Royal International Air Tattoo. So I think the actual Lancaster, Papa Alpha 474, which we're actually flying today, is inbound to RAF Coningsby in real life, which is really cool. But yeah, you know, it's just a break from the regular content, something a bit fun and different. And yeah, I purchased it, did a little test sector earlier. It doesn't take long to get set up. As I said, the systems modelling is quite basic, but overall it handles like a big old warbird with the 4 engines. It's got its own little uniquenesses and challenges to operating it. But here she is, absolutely stunning. The external model looks very nice indeed. And yeah, as I said, this is Papa Alpha 474, one of only 2 remaining Avro Lancasters left flying in the world today. Anyway, let's see who we have in chat. Andy H32 says, rest in peace Scampton. Yes, they closed that a couple of years back, but the Lancasters always lived in Coningsby, I think, but that was the home of the Red Arrows. Such an iconic route too as well. Yeah, I know. And do you know what else I really like about this route today, guys? Where am I from? I am from Spalding, Lincolnshire. This is where I grew up and I was born, and I was born in Boston, Pilgrim Hospital. So this routing is, you know, this is my neck of the woods I'm familiar with. We might have to dodge some thunderstorms as we go southbound today towards Duxford, but we'll do our best to fly VMC. And I've driven on these roads loads in real life. So I'll be sort of following the A17 from Boston to Spalding, going to Peterborough, join the A1, then we'll join the M11 via Huntingdon, past Cambridge. We're following the roads all the way there. I can get there, VMC, so I'm very familiar with the route today, which is helpful because that's how we're going to be flying. Home flyby, we will be WWII. I hope you're doing well, buddy. Good to see you in here today. As Sasha, good afternoon, was wondering if you were going to take this one for a spin. I know, it's not the usual stuff. I don't think I've actually flown any warbirds on the channel before, but yeah, it's a Lancaster, guys. It's an absolutely iconic aircraft indeed. I saw a comment earlier, Domino Mosina. Yes, the last time we flew into Duxford live stream was the TU154. We'll hopefully see it there. I've got a couple of freeware sceneries installed for both airports here as well, so you can get all the information in the video description below regarding those airports as well. Having saw a very beautiful plane, absolutely. We'll have a little look around the external model before we jump in as well. And Spitfire F100 says the beauty just flew over my house 30 minutes ago. Awesome sight. This very aeroplane. I know. I was having a little look at a Facebook page that was saying that was having to avoid basically all this weather here. Because where's RAF Fairford? It's down there somewhere. So I think they're going sort of east. I heard towards East Anglia, then around all these thunderstorms. They don't want to get struck by lightning in this beautiful aeroplane. That's for sure. Cool. So. We'll talk about the routing in a bit more detail in a second, but yeah, here is the Avro Lancaster. The external model on this add-on is very good. Like I said, it is basic, the systems modelling, but it's not like that awful add-on company where they have absolutely no systems modelling. There is enough here, I think, to whet your appetite. So for example, you've got to manage the engines, the mixture, the RPM, the fuel has to be worked as per real life too, and it is quite a challenging aircraft to handle as well. It's a big old 4-engined bomber at the end of the day, but yeah, you know, it's not to be shied at. It's reasonably priced as well. The compatibility is officially for Microsoft Flight Sim 2020. However, people have got it working in 2024, and I think Aeroplane Heaven, I was looking at their website, they're looking into making this available for 2024 on an official basis, but people have been flying this in 2024 for no problem. But I wanted to have no issues at all, which is why I'm flying this today as well. Spalding to Boston, sorry, A16, not A17. Like I said, Andy, I don't live here anymore. I always forget the name of all the roads. I knew it's one of those, that's for sure. Anyway, let's jump into the cockpit here. So I'm online here. I don't know if anyone's joining me on the Western Europe server. I think these are just other people online. There was we've got a Mike Pupper in a Lancaster in the hangar there anyway. But yeah, I think this is the actual hangar where they stored the Lancaster. But here we are. The cockpit's very nicely modelled. Like I said, a lot of it is modelled, a lot of it isn't, but you can see all the position of all the navigators. We'll hide those later. I've got this awesome view from the Bombardier here. Oh my goodness me, what's going on here? Funky Fox and Plane Spotting Alex are busy in the circuit Coningsby. I've got some great views of the wing as well for this short flight too. Perfect. So what I'm going to do is go over down here to sort of the engineers panel. I think you can press this button here, which loads the... or gets rid of all the people. There we are. Now, I don't know what I've done. How do I get rid of these dudes? They weren't here on my test sector, but they could stay in and do things anyway. But they weren't there when I tested it earlier. But I'll be running the very basic checklist here to get the aircraft set up here. So before starting engines, crew on board. Like I said, you press that button there to bring them in. Engine covers. These are just little click spots they've added to add and remove things. So there you go, you could get the engine covers off and have a look at that Merlin engine if you so wish. Refuel, so if you go up here, press the refuel button, you see it's completely empty. So you press that button, it refuels the aircraft. So you can see there's a little bit of an arcadey function, let's say, but it's a nice way of getting shortcuts and to getting things filled up. So I'll brim the tanks. The way you use the fuel is there's 6 tanks in total. You use the inboard fuel tanks first, then the intermediate and outer tanks, but there'll be more than enough for our sector, so we'll put the refuel switch to off. Parking brake is set. That's uniquely applied here on the control column. I think it's in the default set position. External power cart will turn on. There we are. We've got some electrical power connected to the aircraft. A battery switch is over here. We'll turn that on. Well, I've just turned it off. I think it's on by default. There we are. Fuel gauges check all. So you turn these on. You can see there's all the fuel we uplifted a second ago. So happy days. Alternators we can turn on, which are over here. There we are. I think. Why is that not working? There we are. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the alternators are on too. So you know there's elements that are modelled, which is nice. Starboard fuel selectors to number 2, which it is by default. So you have to use these to manipulate where you're feeding fuel from. So we'll put those in number 2 for both the... oh no, it's just the starboard fuel selector to number 2 for now, and the port fuel selector to number 2, which is over here. So we use the number 2 tanks first, port and starboard, and then we get straight starting engines. So the master boost coil we could turn on, which is over here. Mixture fully rich, which it already is by default, so I've got that attached to my thrust levers, and then we get ready to start the engine. So obviously in reality there'd be a much more detailed process with regards to starting these engines, but as I said, it's a basic modelling here of getting the thing going. Who else we got? Andy, that is certainly the hangar and the road top. The right of the aircraft runs from Coningsby through Dog Dyke to New York. No, not that New York. I know the New York you're talking about, but like I said, this is my neck of the woods. Oh my god, there's bombs to be uploaded. My goodness, I didn't ask for any of that. Right, anyway, let's start the engine. So obviously I'll just turn the music off here for a second, turn up Microsoft Flight Simulator so you can hear these Merlins come to life, and then I've got to turn it down because it is incredibly loud. So starboard number 2, we've already put the fuel to number 2, and then we start the engine 3, 4, 2, 1. So throttle, crank open slightly, so we'll do that here. I'll hide the control column. Fuel cock to the open position. Number 3 first. Propeller control fully forward, so the RPM's down here. It's fully forward. Magnetos to on engine number 3. And now let's start the engine. Here we go. Clear prop. I don't care, it's basic. It's amazing. It's an awesome little add-on here. So a good start, engine number 3. And then you go out here. Oh look, I've got Jim 2 checking all the engine parameters, but they all work, all the needles, so you can see the oil temperature slowly increasing, the oil pressure has risen, the temperature of the radiator increasing. So yeah, it's some elements here which are modelled nicely. Max nicely, is this the war crime plane? I don't know what you're referencing there. Right, starting engine number 4, so fuel cock on, mixtures to rich, magnetos are on, starting 4, clear prop. Definitely faster than the LEAP engines, absolutely. God, that is loud as well. I'm just going to turn the sim down slightly here. Excellent. So now I've got to put port number 2 fuel boost on. Oh gosh, and he's in the way. Oh, I think it's on by default. Now, I think I went over to number 1 here. Oh no, back to number 2. Let's see how that works. Now, engine number 2 start. Fuel cock on. Close that guard. Starting to. I knew this would happen. I did this on my test sector and it didn't work. I think I had to move one of these. Was it to number 1? Just try that one more time, guys. Damn it! I can't remember how to start engine 2 and 1. I knew this would happen. What did I do on my test sector to get this to work? Oh yes, I know what it was. Turning these on. Let me try one more time. They need the fuel pumps apparently. Oh yes, can start engine number 2. I think in reality you'd have to treat these engines with a lot more respect. Right, starting engine number 1. There we are. Amazing. Alright, I've got 4 good starts, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, Simba. I hope you're doing well. Some horrible weather around here. Right, external power carts are off. Oh, crikey, I'm in between someone's legs. So that's off. Rearm wants to be off. There we are. So that gets rid of the bombs. Okay. I'm warming up the engines now. So master boost coil to off. Radiator shut out to auto. So they've got off on, but the auto is sort of in the mid position. Fuel pressure check. So I think some of these green lights are off. You're fine. Oil pressure checks. We've got oil pressure, all temperatures, all good. Brake pressure check. Magneto check. So you check all your magnetos. Make sure you do this. No, don't do that. Quick. Trying to do it individually. There you are. So make sure you've got a mag drop. Don't cut off all of them. So you can see the mag dropping there with the RPM. I guess this is exactly where all the real switches are. There we are. Taxi check this next. So lights as required. So this add-on. Oh, we've got the engine cover still off. That's better. Lights as required. So they're down here. Now, as I was just about to say, this add-on has a sort of reasonably well-modelled. It's not an autopilot. I'm not going to use it today, but they have basically an autopilot system which was used on the Avro Lancaster, which I was reading about, which allowed the bombardier to control the aircraft in pitch and roll for the bomb run. And they've sort of modelled that over here. I think it's on one of the panels here. I mean, I've not played because I'm on a hand flying today, but you can use a very basic autopilot, which is cool. So flight controls, free and correct. Let me just make sure my controls are fine. I've got the differential braking all set up, rudders, great, and I've got the diff brakes. Oh look, yeah, look, you can see my brake pressure here. Look from the pedals. Look, there we go, perfect. And then we'll check all the engine parameters which we've done. And now we can taxi out. All right. So what we're going to do is release the parking brake, which is here, and we're already rolling forward, guys. Just take a little bit of power off. Not bad, 16 minutes taxiing out, we've already got the engine set up. I hope you enjoy it, guys, something a little bit different. Oh my gosh, Funky Fox is doing a display. Right, can anyone find the wind in Coningsby? Because, actually, does this have a METAR? Just check the brakes. Yeah, it's good. Oh, it does, 1406. Okay. Okay, we can take off runway 07 then, straight out here, so there'll be a headwind, then we'll make a right turn southbound to Boston. Oh, it's a beautiful machine. So the flaps are quite unique, I found out. So you've got 3 positions. You've got up, and then the neutral position. So if you hold it there, and let go, it'll hold the flaps exactly where you need it to. And we use 25 for takeoff and 25 for landing. Oh, I love this position here. So cool. There's phase Y. Take a touch and go. A few CBs around. Lovely. Yeah, I think they're behind us. Thankfully, that's to the north, which you can see there on the map, but from the distance. Thankfully, we're going in that direction. Zone caps taxiing behind. Dialer flap. Yeah, essentially, yeah. It's like an MD-80. An MD-11. It's got basic navigation. You've got a sort of system here which is like an ILS, which is what the actual Lancaster used back in World War II. And you've got the ability here to flick to a conventional RMI system. So you can navigate using VORs on this aircraft, which is pretty cool. Andy, those CBs are over you at the moment, chucking it down here. Oh, it's a beautiful sunny day here. And in Coningsby, we'll see. Right, let's just hold it there. I'm so glad I've got these brakes set up. Whoop, try not to ground loop it. Okay, so checklist, what we've got left here. So there aren't any checks to do. In reality, obviously they do several run-up checks. Check all the different systems as well. There is an including checklist which talks about some of the additional steps you can do. There's like a boost cutout check and a supercharger you can use at high altitude as well. And there is actually a run-up test. So let's give this a go. So check the engine, everything's in order. Set the throttles to 1000 RPM at idle. Okay, so 1000 RPM is roughly idle. Check the oil pressures, 60 psi. To get a click spot for this, really, don't I? Oh gosh, I'm inside someone's body. Yeah, it's at least 60 psi. But temperature, it's above 15 degrees. Coolant temperature is 60. Above 60, that's fine. Okay. It doesn't actually talk about adding power to check things. Oh well. So the flap lever can be moved to 3 positions, up, down, neutral. To lower the flaps, push the lever down and hold it there until you have flap position indicator for 25 for takeoff. Okie dokie. So let's do that now. Where's that little flap? There we are. God, they extend quick, don't they? Well, that's not stopping at 40, 20. There we are. 20. Well, it's going to be 25, but that will do. And you can see the flaps have extended on the trailing edge there. Okay. Queef pillar bite. How does it feel being in a relatively modern cockpit? Brilliant. Oh dear, oh dear. Running, guys. So I'm going to take off of runway 07. Wow, just saw a funky fox there. And then we're going to climb straight ahead. Probably going to stay low level for this flight, 1,000 to 1,500 feet. And then we're going to make a right turns towards Boston, follow the A16 to Spalding, then we'll hopefully see Peterborough, dodge the thunderstorms, catch the A1 towards Huntingdon, and then we'll get the M11 towards Cambridge and then Duxford. There we are. Those of you who have no clue where I'm going, I know roughly where I'm going at least. Right then, so let's line up on the runway. Obviously, again, this would be a very challenging aircraft to taxi in real life. But made quite easy in the realms of Microsoft Flight Simulator. So you've got this huge compass here, and it's fixed to north, but obviously this little arrow points in the direction you're facing, which is quite cool. I think Funky Fox is giving us a bit of an air show. Lined up nicely on runway 07. So let's talk a little about the takeoff then. So we've got the flaps at 25, set the elevator trim slightly nose down, other trims to neutral, set throttles to idle. Fully up on the propellers and mixture, check fuel contents, we've got full tanks, check the supercharger is in the MS position. MS. And then here we go, we're going to set how many inches does it mention here? Open throttle smoothly to plus 12 boost. And plus 12 is in the red here, so that's what we're going to set for takeoff. I think that's just, what does the red icon say? Maximum boost level flight. Okay, fine. 12 for takeoff, and then we'll reduce it as we climb. We're going to climb to 1,500 feet and reduce the power. We're going to fly probably around 200 miles an hour, which is the outer gauge I think that's the outer gauge here. Yeah, it's all in miles an hour. Alright, Toga's in chat then. Let's go to Duxford. So I'm going to hold it on the brakes and enjoy the sounds. The sounds are really good. It sounds like Merlins, don't they? Alright, there's 12 on the boost. 3,000 RPM, brakes released. Oh, what a view that would be. Alright, using rudder to maintain centre line, airspeed's alive. A little bit of left rudder coming in. Oh my god, there's full left rudder. Ah! Oh my god, full right rudder, full right rudder! Oh, oh my goodness me. I've got a full left! Bit of differential braking maybe. God, it feels like I'm losing control. My goodness me. Alright. That's better. Now I've got a bit of directional control. God, I was someone upside down. Right, let's rotate. Oh, we're airborne. Crikey, that was tough. I was doing my best to keep it on the centre line. Positive to climb, gear up. LNAV, VNAV. Okay, flaps coming up. Right, flaps retracted. Oh, it flies like I imagine a fully fueled Lancaster would. Very sluggish. Right, now we've got cleaned up. Start reducing the power. I'll go to 8 boost. We'll reduce the RPM when we get to 1,500 feet. So we're already at 1,000 feet. And we're going to make a right turn towards Boston. God, that was really hard. I was trying my best to just keep up the centre line. But it looks amazing. Look at that view from the Bombardier. That's so cool. Barely climbing. That's 140 miles an hour. That is the best climb speed, by the way. Alright, let's roll on about 160. Get up to 1,500 feet. You haven't seen me land this thing yet, guys. Right. Let's make sure we're in trim first. Alrighty, so I'll just turn the sim down slightly. I hope that's a little better. And we're coming up to 1,500 feet. This is climbing so slowly. Alright, there's 1,500. So I'm going to reduce the RPM to 2,650. Oh, it seems to be doing the inner two but not the outer two. The inner two but not the outboards. Right, there's 2,650. About 8 on the boost. We're going to go up to 200 miles an hour. And there's Boston on the nose. I can see it just here. Alright, 1,500 feet, trimming those down. Need to get the RPM down on engine 1 and 2. Boston. What's the wind doing here, by the way? I seem to be drifting. At least it's nice here. Right, there's 1,500 feet. Accelerator's 180 miles an hour. And there's Boston on the nose. I was born and bred here, ladies and gentlemen. My hometown. Well, I didn't live in Boston at any point. I was just born here. So what do you think of the add-on, guys? You know, I know it's not a serious, hyper-realistic add-on, but there's enough going on to keep you busy, and you're flying a Lancaster. Right, let's get the RPM down on engine number 1.4 if I can. Whoa. That's better. And there is Boston on the nose. See if we can see the Boston stump. It's pretty much the only landmark here. There's the wash. try and maintain 1500 feet. Need to keep trimming those down. And then we're going to make a turn sort of southwest along the A16. There we are. Right over Boston, Lincolnshire. Don't think the stump's there. I mean, the satellite imagery is pretty good, and the houses. This is all photogrammetry, isn't it? I've driven over that bridge plenty of times, and across here. There's the A16. Oh my god. I know where I'm going. I know where I'm going. That's the road we're going to follow, guys. So we'll keep it on our left. It flies really sluggishly. I mean, like an aircraft this size would, but it feels good. Ryan says you don't have the accent. I've definitely heard you mention Dunkin' Donuts. Not that Boston. There we are, 1500 feet. There's the A16 down there. Coming up to Curtin. Oh, this is the view. This is the view you need for navigation. Look at this. Is this Curtin? This is where I get my Class 1 medical done? Or used to. There we are. IFI, follow roads. Absolutely. So it seems to be quite settled now. We've got the RPM back at 2,650 on each of the 4 Merlins, 1,500 feet. Although I've only just pressed the magic B button and realised I'm much lower than I should be. Let's go up to 1,500. And that will give us about 200 miles an hour. Some weather ahead, or some cumulus clouds. Whereas well, that view is the bomb. I love it. Now back to 1,500. So I'm going to hand fly on the way to Duxford, but like I said, there is a rudimentary autopilot on this aircraft, similar to what was or is fitted to the actual Lancaster. Here we are, this is Curtin we've just passed, and down here we've got Sutterton and Ouchkirk, which is where I used to live growing up. One of the places we lived growing up here. Just coming up to the roundabout. These buildings are completely wrong, but yeah, there we are. I used to live in that house just there. That's the actual house as well, the church. And I used to bike into Sutterton to get the bus to Spalding. Amazing. Keep following the A16 towards Spalding. Fanny says, wave your wings when you pass board to say hello to an old friend. Oh. But this is the beauty of Microsoft Flight Simulator. I'm flying over where I grew up. It's replicated in stunning detail in a Lancaster, which I saw frequently growing up when I was younger. I don't think any of these people are flying our way and going to catch up. How's the fuel doing? Well, I put so much in here, I don't think it's going to be an issue. Yeah, I've got like 240 gallons. Get back up to 1,500 feet over Spalding, but there's a rain shower ahead, look. Which... well, actually, there's a big thunderstorm over Peterborough. It's going to be interesting. This little rain shower isn't on the weather radar here, but we're just going to basically fly right over Spalding. Cam, howdy Cam, can you have time for a 737 question? Go for it, I'll do my best to answer it. Oh, I'd love to have a go at this. Well, the rivets on the wing as well, it's a really nice one. Anyway, over Spalding. Actually, now I need to go in this view. Very pleased with my flying. 200 miles an hour, 1,500 feet. My hometown. Trying to get my bearings here. River Welland. There we are. It's very hard to actually work out where things are. I don't have the water tower there, unfortunately. There we are. My hometown. Beautiful. Modern Hamilton lets you pay for a tour. I think it's $3,000 per person. That's actually quite reasonably priced, I think. So you can get a trip in a Spitfire in the UK, but that's £5,000, I think. That's the main Market Street. Oh, that's where I went to school. Spalding Grammar School, just here. Look. Amazing. Right, we need to keep going in this direction. We've passed over the... missed the weather off there to the right, so we're just going to keep going sort of south-southwest towards Peterborough, which is covered in a thunderstorm, according to this weather radar. Then we'll pick up the A1. Off to my left there is where I did my PPL, Fenland Echo Golf Charlie Lima. A little bit too small to accept a Lancaster. And Crowland, this is where I learned to glide. There we are, there's a little gliding aerodrome here, which actually I would pretty much fly right over. Oh, desktop sims are so cool. Cam, I understand how takeoff power is calculated. How do you determine which climb profile to use? Thanks as always. We default to what a climb profile gives us, climb 1 or climb 2, so we don't ever change that. Hope that answers your question. Well, let's do weather radar. So I just did my routing slide. Let's get right over Crowland, where I learned to first fly. Gliders, there we are, there's Crowland. There's the little gliding club. It's amazing. It's not really depicted that well in Microsoft Flight Simulator. In fact, I don't think there's any airfield there, they've just got photogrammetry for the gliders. Very cool. Anyway, we best continue in a sort of southbound direction towards Peterborough, which is over here. And we're almost halfway to Duxford now. There's only a little mini stream we're doing. Yeah, once it's all in trim and stabilised, it's very easy to fly. We haven't been there listening to me before, never been to the gliding strip. We should do a gliding flight at some point. We've got zone cap coming up behind us in a T6 Go, whatever that is. Might pop her in a Apache. My goodness me. Funky Fox was here earlier. Lancaster's quite quick, you know. You wouldn't keep putting me in a GA aircraft. So Peterborough's coming up. I'm guessing this weather radar's out of date. Is there a way of seeing it live? Ah, look, it's already passed to the north. There we are, so we should be clear sailing the whole way. So it was pretty much over Spalding. Right, there's Peterborough off to the right. You can see it. This is one of the visual reference points when I did my PPL. I hope the sounds are not too bad, guys. You can hear me over these 4 Merlin engines whizzing away. Mark, someone's already mentioned that. Is the Tu-154 still at Duxford? Yes, it is. Oh, look, you see the canopy on the shadow. It's very cool. Can you see our shadow on the Spitfire? Oh, there it is, look. Can't see it, there it is. Sort of disappears if you zoom in, unfortunately. Sounds great. Cool. Cheers, mate. Watch my altitude keeping to be at 1500 feet. Here's Peterborough. So Peterborough will pick up the A1. I forgot to put the Fly Live overlay on, really. I could have easily done that. Alright, 1500 feet, directly overhead Peterborough. We're going to go right over the centre and join up with the A1 motorway, which is here. So when they make a beeline, we'll easily see the A1. Won't say much about Peterborough. There's the main railway line. Follow that, you'll get all the way to London. Oh, listen, how many of these Lancasters are built? Thousands, I think. That's one for Wikipedia. Thousands upon thousands. Not as many as... wasn't the Liberator, the US Liberator, the most produced World War II bomber? God, 7,000. There you go. Jep's coming in with the goods. That's incredible. And only 2 airworthy left. One that we're flying today, part of the PPO, and the one in Canada. So just get my bearings here. Yes, there's the road, and then there's the A1. We're going to join up with this road here, so it's the road to London. Don't know if I've seen a 737-700. Is that how many they made? All the houses they're building here. Alright, there's the A1 here. How much fuel have we actually used? So we've already used 10% from the 2 largest tanks. Oh, that's an awful number, Jet, isn't it? 3,700 lost in action. That's just the Lancaster. Great external model. Now picking up the A1. And then we'll follow this until we get to Huntingdon. After Huntingdon, we'll join the M11. We'll fly towards Cambridge. Go overhead Cambridge, and what we'll do, we'll make we'll overfly Duxford. We'll overfly the runway at 500 feet, and then we'll go to the circuit to land. Oh, it makes me want to fly the Vulcan again. I've got it all patriotic. I remember when we flew the Vulcan. It's when I started having issues with the simulator. I don't think it was caused by the Vulcan. It was just coincidental, but I spent a long time learning that. There we are. There's the A1. And we'll join the M11. There's Zone Cap in his T6 Go. Very nice. What airfield's that? Oh, it's Conington. I've actually flown into the airfield several times, didn't even recognise it. There's Sawtree. A little bit of a crosswind here. So we'll land on runway. I think we need to land easterly in Duxford. I think all the prevailing wind here in the UK is easterly at the moment. I'm sure you've sat in the cockpit of the Vulcan at Duxford. Very cool. Listen, any bombs on board today? That's a good question, actually. I think it's here. Yes! choose your target. I don't know if you can drop them or not. Got some, I don't know what size pounds those are, but I have got some bombs. There we are. Right, let's pick up the M11 now. It's not a disused airfield though. Right, better close those bomb bay doors. So there's the A1 going south, there's the M11. So I'm going to follow this road here, and that's Huntingdon. What a machine. But like I said, hopefully my landing won't be as bad as my takeoff. Alright, follow the road off to the left now, the M11. That will take us to Huntingdon, and got Manchester and Cambridge. Sorry, it is the A14 that reached the M11. You're right. I just know it's the M11. Seem to be very good at flying at 1700 feet and not 1500. Dave, I'm on the West Europe server on Microsoft Flight Sim 2020. Listen, I don't believe so. Oops, what's my rate of descent? There we are. Just a bit of power off. Well, right over the top of Huntingdon. Oh, the detail is amazing. Awesome. And there's the road off here. And next stop will be Cambridge. They should build a dam buster mission. I think you can fly the dam busters Lancaster and carry Barnes Wallace's bomb. Oh, why doesn't Microsoft Flight Sim have a flyby view? You could buzz Stancy from doubling back to Duxford. Not sure they'll appreciate that. There we are. Let's follow the M11 towards Cambridge. See the traffic there on the road as well. Driving on the correct side, ladies and gentlemen. Oops, 1500 feet. What's happened to my altitude keeping? A little bit of power. This actually can fly quite high. And like when we flew the DC-6, they've got superchargers on, so when you get above something like 14 or 15,000 feet, turn the superchargers on and keep climbing. Why aren't you flying on the left side of the sky then? Brilliant. Look at this. Now I always forget the name of the road that joins the M11. Is it the A14? Is that the A14 there? My average speed camera's on the A14. There's zone cap. There is a way to get the camera into the different gunner positions as well. Also, it looks like War Thunder. Only if the Lancaster in War Thunder and the bombers had this detailed cockpit. They don't have any detailed cockpits at all. There's definitely a wind coming from the right. Wind's pushing us. Awesome. Oh, 1500 feet. Sam, come on, not 1100. Zoom back up. I lose all the speed, but there we go. 1500. Could you feed historic aerometry into something like Ortho 4XP somehow to recreate actual historic flying? No idea. It's just a little town here, I don't even know. Just for Cambridge. Bart Hill. But that is Cambridge here, coming up. And what we're going to do is break off from Cambridge. And then we're going to fly over the airport, sort of westbound, but then we need to land on the easterly side, so we're going to sort of orbit around Royston and then we're going to land on the easterly runway. Is that Cambridge Services ahead? Need the coffee? I don't know if we've already flown over it. To there. Not sure, maybe it's a little bit close to Cambridge, but here we are, historic Cambridge. And right at the top. Now, someone will be better informed in chat, but the Lancaster spent quite a bit of time in Duxford recently. Is it getting work done? Whereas you like a look at this, yeah, it's nice, isn't it? And it's easy to fly from a sort of systems point of view. It's got enough going on to keep you busy, and then you can fly the most iconic World War II bombers. Microsoft Flight Simulator. I'm loving it. I'm really happy I purchased this. Just for a bit of fun. Uh-oh. I think the whole of Cambridge is loading into my PC. Right at the top of historic Cambridge. There's the university. I don't have the city pack installed, or whatever it is, the city. But we'll go right over the top of Cambridge Airport. Imagine we got permission. What's that there? It's like a fountain of blood or something. Yeah, right over Cambridge. LA, has this been a quick flight? Can we do a Buckingham Palace fly past? Maybe another show. I'm going to go a lot further south. Perhaps another time. And I've got dinner at 7:15. And I'm going to go to bed afterwards. I've got a very early departure tomorrow morning. Alright, there we are. Right over Cambridge Airport. Flew in there a few times, our building. But yeah, flying over Buckingham Palace would be perfect. So. Okay, cool. So what we're going to do is head towards Sawston, and then we're going to fly right over the runway at Duxford. We'll go down to 500 feet, and then we're going to orbit round Royston to come straight in landing here, and landing this plane is tricky. It's tricky, as I found out earlier. See you later, Cambridge. Alright, so let's look out for Duxford now, and I've got the freeway. This freeway scenery for Duxford, by the way, is fantastic. It's really, really nice. I think that's it. You can see the hangar there, and the US Air Force hangar. There you go. So it's really nice live weather conditions here. There's already a Lancaster there. I think a number of people will probably be replicating this flight in their respective Lancasters. So what we're going to do is just reduce a bit of power, start descending. Ground loop incoming. Ye of little faith, Mr. Whiteside. Do a replay as well. Flight recorder going. Worked really well when I tested it earlier. So stream-wise, guys, I'm going to do episode 2 of AV Assembly tomorrow after work. It's a nice chill stream, and then the Flight Factor 757, which I've been wanting to do for some time. Hopefully on Wednesday. Members, on Thursday we've got our group flight as well, which I will get around and organise. Oh look, another Lancaster! Look! Look guys! Another Lancaster! Ah, cool! Cool. How cool is that? Obviously the model matching's working because I've got it installed, haven't I? Amazing, he must be in the same one. Did you see that? Second time I've ever seen a Lancaster. Amazing. Alright, here we go. We've reduced our speed to about 170 miles an hour, 180. Let's do our fly past at 500 feet. Oh, I wish I had a tower view. Alright, let's line up. We'll fly past. There's 2 other Lancasters there as well. So we are going to land on the other runway because of the wind. In fact, could someone get me the wind in Cambridge? Echo Golf Sierra Charlie. There's no METAR here for Duxford. Just want to make sure I land in the correct direction. Now let's fly past. This is an aircraft that's done several flights past. I see more Lancasters! Everyone's enjoying their Aeroplane Heaven Lancaster this weekend. Yeah! I don't think he's in the same one, but he is, or she is. So the wind's... oh, it's actually 2707. Oh, so I actually want to land on 24 left. Okay, that's fine. Well, what we'll do, we'll go into the circuit. Let's add some power, start climbing up. We'll go up to 1,000 feet. Where's the T154? It's scrapped. And we'll go into a left-hand downwind then. Oh, it does not like to climb this thing. Right. I'll watch my boost up to 12. There's 1,000 feet. Is it runway 24 here or 25? I can't remember. I just went right over the top of it. I've got a heading around 060 downwind. And there's 1,000 feet. Let's level off. Ah, this is awesome. Alright, let's position downwind in Duxford. There we go. So we're downwind. There's the runway. Oh, another Lancaster's joining formation. Oh, guys, can you all buy Lancaster so we can do a formation flight? Oh, look at that. I think I can hear him as well. Lancasters over England. Now that is cool. That's a sight you won't see, I don't think, again, unless that Canadian Lancaster comes over. It's not the sight we'll never really see again. Is he going into Duxford? Let's hope he is. I'm going to do quite a long final though. He looks like a pro. Or is he going back to Coningsby? Amazing. Well, thanks for coming in, Duke. Safe flights, sir. Alright, let's think about landing. So what I'm going to do is reduce a little bit of power. So landing technique. Where's my manual? Right. Reduce speed below 200. Go to flat 25. So let's start extending the flaps. And I made the mistake on my test sector of going full flap. Now, well, there's flap 25. I mean, it's quite a tight turn here. And then we'll drop the gear when we're on base. There's the flaps extended. Nice long final. Well, watch the speed, watch the speed. I think this is a great little add-on. Really, I do. And, you know, we've only just flown it from A to B today, but, you know, you can do IFR flying. You've got a HSI here and RMI retrofitted. There's a sort of autopilot that's modeled like the old Spitfire had. So these are all things that you can sort of gives a bit more versatility flying around. But yeah, you know, if you love the Lancaster, then why not give it a go? Oh, what's that speed? Right, max RPM. Okay, max RPM I've selected. Max mixture. We haven't leading, so we're going to be at 1,500 feet. I'm going to start reducing speed to about 100 miles an hour now, which is the final approach speed. 120. Power off. Very low, but I think probably came in quite shallow anyway. There's McDaddy. Hello. Whoa, watch that rate of descent. I'm going to be doing 1,000 feet per minute. Sit up in my chair a little bit. Whoa, I feel like I'm sinking. More power. Oh, God, it doesn't feel very stable, and I'm very, very low, but we'll take it. Oh. Crikey, I'm going to bring the speed up until I feel like I'm about to stall. Right, let's just do a slight climb. Navigator, guide me in. Came in very low here. I've got a lot of aft control column as well. Crikey, I barely see where I'm going. How's the fuel flow in this thing? Not good right now. Right, I don't want to go any slower than this until after a touchdown. Right, I've got like so much power. My gear's down, isn't it? Yeah. I'm going to have to sit up like this. I can't actually see the runway. Oh, actually, that's the view I need, isn't it? Let's check my speed at 105 miles an hour. Okay. Oh, don't sink, don't sink, don't sink. Power. That's it. That's probably the correct glide path now. Whoa, I feel like I ballooned up now. Alright, I think there's a crosswind from the left here. Oh, speed's a bit too much, 110. What are we doing about 100? Slowly reducing the power. Oh, got very little pitch authority. Oh, I forgot to start the recorder, damn it, never mind. Oh, whoa, steady on with those engines. Here we go. It's going to be firm one. Oh, we're down. I ran out of pitch authority. I think maybe I'm a bit too heavy. But I've not ground looped it, well I've not started braking yet. Right, now I'm going to start slowly braking. That was a crunch. I ran out of pitch authority. I'm glad I didn't come down at 100. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Duxford from RAF Coningsby, the home of the Lancaster. There we are. Well, last time we were here was about 5 or 6 years ago, ladies and gentlemen, virtually in our TU-154 from... Where did we fly from? It was like Moscow or something. I can't remember, but yeah. It was quite a firm landing. I don't think the pro Lancaster pilots would be too impressed with that landing rate. I might have broken something in reality. A little bit of differential braking. There we are. Oh, that view. That's superb. You want to take that 154 up again? I know it's had some third party and it's taken Felix's 154 and made improvements. I don't particularly want to fly again. It's too hard. But I know some people were flying it. If they can get the English variant with all the writing not in, is it cynic or critical, however you say it, that'll be fine. Oh look, there's 2 more Lancasters. We've got, well, I know where we're parking. We'll go on the grass. So I can quite happily taxi on grass. I guess they're friends, but we're now going to join up with 2 of the Lancasters online here. Clean up the flaps. That is amazing. Hello sir, we've been here to pick up the 154 that we've left here a few years ago. There we are. Right, I've got to try and butter park this next to Duke and Mertlin. Wait, hold on, Duke! How did you land so quickly? There we are. Look at that, guys. Now that's something you'll never see. I've got to part this perfectly. I think that'll do, guys. Look at that. Oh, amazing. Right, let's set the parking brake. There's no shutdown checklist on this, so we'll sort of run sort of backwards as to what we did when the engine started. So we'll essentially just put the mixtures to cut off. So that's all the way down here. There we are. Oh, it's a very abrupt shutting down of the engines, but there we are. We've shut them down nonetheless. Amazing. And we all got the same reg. Oh no, we've got Alpha Romeo Golf. Alfa Romeo Lima and Alfa Romeo Lima. I think these are the 2 obviously remaining ones here. Look at that, guys, that is amazing. VC10 there, yeah, that would be good to see. But yeah, check out this Duxford scenery, guys, and it's also available for Microsoft Flight Sim 2024, completely free to download. It looks amazing. It's amazing freeware stuff in Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 and 2024. So yeah, there's no, the checklist that comes with it doesn't have anything to do with the shutdown. So essentially you just turn off all the systems you turned on here. The fuel pumps are over here. Put the port tanks off here. There's a lot going on here. I've really It's a very basic review flight essentially, which you know, covering the aircraft here. There's probably far more detailed videos already available on YouTube of someone that's gone into these systems here, but I just wanted to fly from A to B. But I had a lot of fun doing this very short and impromptu stream, so we'll call it a day, because I forgot to start the replay here, and also, like I said, I've got to get up about 3:30 tomorrow to go to work, so I won't be hanging around too long. But thank you very much for tuning in this Sunday evening in the Aeroplane Heaven Avro Lancaster. It's available now, I think. Where did I get mine from? Orbix, I think I purchased it from. But yeah, it's a nice little add-on, and if you love the Lancaster, as I said, it'll be a good fun add-on for you to fly and look around. But like I said, I've only scratched the surface. Will I fly it again? Probably. If I can get a number of you to join me in formation, it could be a lot of fun, and maybe I can look a little bit of detail into getting it here. But I don't have much time at the moment, as some of you will know. I'm going, alright, very, very soon, my stag do is coming up, and I'm a lot of stress. But yeah, I'll get a few streams knocked off. Like I said, the second channel, I'll be live again for episode 2 of AV Assembly for a bit of fun tomorrow after work, and then we'll jump in the Flight Factor 7.5 at some point this week as well. But thank you very much for tuning in, and all members, thank you very much for your continued support. Enjoy what's left of the weekend, guys, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Cheerio!
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
I was literally just about to close the stream. Thanks, Hayden. Very kind.
Please do a BBMF group flight cap, smiley face emoji.
So that's a great suggestion. Perhaps we'll have to get the Spitfire Hurricane involved. That would be pretty cool. Cheers, Hayden. Thank you very much. And I hope you're doing well. And I'll see you all guys very soon. Cheerio.